Imagine a world untouched by the hand of modern civilization, an Earth where vast stretches of forests, grasslands, and untamed wilderness shaped every moment of existence. 4.7 million years ago, the planet was a place of tumultuous change and breathtaking diversity. Towering volcanoes rumbled, ancient rivers cut through the land, and colossal creatures, some now only known from fossils, roamed freely. In this raw and unpredictable world, the earliest human ancestors began their journey, navigating the harsh realities of prehistoric life. The story of their survival is a tapestry woven from ingenuity, adaptation, and an unbreakable will to live.
At this distant point in our story, true Homo sapiens had not yet appeared. Instead, our ancestors were members of the hominin family. Creatures like Australopithecus afarensis, Ardipithecus remedis, and other early hominins. These beings were not quite human as we know it, but they walked upright, possessed clever hands, and held the spark of intelligence that would one day ignite the rise of humanity. Their world was filled with dangers, saber-toothed predators, massive herbivores, and a climate that shifted between lush wet periods and relentless droughts. Surviving in such a world required a delicate balance of instinct, learning, and cooperation. The first and most critical challenge was finding food. Prehistoric humans were foragers. They relied on the land for everything they needed. Every day was a quest for sustenance, a careful dance between opportunity and risk. Edible plants, fruits, nuts, roots, and tubers were gathered from the forests and savannas. These early hominins learned to recognize which plants could nourish and which could poison. Their senses were finely tuned, the color and scent of ripe fruit, the crackle of dry leaves betraying the presence of insects, the subtle signs that marked the trail of a hidden tuber beneath the earth. But plant foods alone were not enough to sustain life. Protein and fat were precious resources, and early humans turned to animals to fill this gap. Initially, they may have scavenged the kills of larger predators, using sharp stones or broken animal bones to pry meat from the carcasses left behind. Over time, they developed basic tools to assist in this task: flaked stones for cutting, pointed sticks for digging or spearing. These innovations, simple as they seem, marked a turning point in human survival. With tools, our ancestors could access new sources of food, break open bones for nutrient-rich marrow, and defend themselves more effectively. Water, too, was a constant concern. Rivers and streams were lifelines, but they also drew other thirsty creatures, some of them dangerous. Prehistoric humans learned the patterns of rainfall and drought, the locations of seasonal pools, and the signals in the landscape that hinted at hidden springs. They moved with the changing seasons, following the migration of animals and the cycles of fruiting plants, always seeking the next source of nourishment and hydration. Shelter was another essential element of survival. Unlike the creatures who could outrun or overpower their predators, early humans were vulnerable. They sought refuge in the trees, using their climbing ability to escape danger and find a safe place to sleep. As time went on, and they began to spend more time on the ground, they took shelter in natural formations, caves, overhanging rocks, dense thickets. These places offered protection from the elements and from the ever-present threat of predators. In colder periods, they huddled together for warmth, their communal bonds growing stronger with each challenge faced together. Fire, the great transformative force, had not yet been mastered by these early ancestors. That leap would come much later in the human story. But even without fire, they adapted to their environment with remarkable resourcefulness. They used their knowledge of the landscape to avoid danger, to find the best places for shelter, and to locate the most abundant food sources. Their social groups provided safety in numbers. Together, they could watch for predators, care for young, and share the bounty of their foraging. Communication was another critical factor in their survival. While language as we know it had not yet fully developed, early humans used a rich array of gestures, vocalizations, and facial expressions to share information and coordinate their actions. The call of alarm when a predator approached, the gesture that signaled the discovery of a fruiting tree, the shared rituals that reinforced group bonds, All of these helped them work together as a cohesive unit. Over time, this ability to share knowledge and cooperate became one of their greatest strengths. The environment itself was a formidable opponent. 4.7 million years ago, the Earth's climate oscillated between warm, wet periods and cooler, drier intervals. Great stretches of Africa, where many of our ancestors lived, were covered in forests, but open grasslands were beginning to emerge. This changing landscape forced early humans to adapt, becoming more mobile and versatile in their habits. They learned to walk upright, freeing their hands for carrying food, using tools, and caring for their young. This bipedalism was a key adaptation, allowing them to travel greater distances and to spot danger from afar. Cooperation and social bonds were at the heart of their survival. Early humans lived in small bands, often made up of family groups. Within these groups, individuals looked out for one another. The young were nurtured and protected, the sick and injured cared for. Wisdom was passed from one generation to the next. The location of a hidden waterhole, the use of a particular stone for making tools, the warning signs of a stalking predator. These shared experiences and collective memories helped ensure the survival of the group. Despite all their challenges, prehistoric humans were not merely passive survivors. They were pioneers, explorers, and innovators. Each day brought new lessons, new discoveries, and new ways to adapt to the world around them. Their story is one of resilience, creativity, and transformation, a testament to the enduring human spirit. As we look back across the immense gulf of time, we see not just the struggle for survival, but the roots of everything that would one day define us as a species: curiosity, cooperation, ingenuity, and the relentless drive to thrive against all odds. The world of 4.7 million years ago was unforgiving, but it was also a crucible in which the foundations of humanity were forged. In their footsteps, we find the beginnings of our own journey, a journey that continues to shape the destiny of our species even today.